This is what they call the Drovers Camp at Camooweal. And we're about to go inside and have a look around. It's heritage. Local Aboriginal artists actually did the murals that are on the walls and on the water tanks. And we'll take you around and show you once we finish the walk inside. This is one of the long walls that was done by local artists. Local Aboriginal artists, we should say. So the whole shed has been painted in these colours. It looks magnificent from the highway. Again, this is the rear of the building, and as you can see, there's a lot of detail work that went into this. The opposite side, this is the road facing side of the building, and again the detail in these paintings is just sensational. All done by local Aboriginal artists. We're going to go inside now and just have a look around, and we'll show you I guess what the drovers experienced back in the early days of droving in this country. So we're inside the shed now, and as you can see, there's lots of memorabilia around from the history of Camooweal and the droving days. Camooweal was on one of the main stock routes for moving cattle to market.
And at the end of the 2 years, I can see one. So you. I didn't hear it, man. I'm always behind the house. So we've got $4, $8 total, 8 rooms. One's the Hilton, maybe $40 on one suite. The other's the West End, because there's no one suite. But that was when we were out when we talked about it.
These hangings represent some of the stock routes and some of the drovers that applied those stock routes. This one here details life on the road and the utensils used by the various stockmen. This one here, of course, dictates the roads, most travelled, the tracks most travelled.
We only had 2 hours going up before by the top I got all that. This is the part I couldn't do. Oh yeah. Oh, I know it was an art form.
This is a typical saddle. This is a saddle only, not the gear that is, or the total amount of number of gear or amount of gear that the stockman used to take. This is just the saddle, and we were invited to pick it up. I can tell you that I could only pick this saddle up about 6 inches off the off the bar. It was so heavy. How they got them on bloody horses, I've got no idea. So this little area here depicts what a drover's camp would have looked like, pulling up in the bush somewhere. So they'd have their stock horses, and then they'd have all their gear laid out, and the gear was laid out in an orderly fashion so that it made it easier to be applied to the horses or the stock horses in the morning. You'll see here their water supplies were in tins, and these tins were also applied and carried by the stock horses. One interesting fact is that you'll see the nature of the tins. The tins have a flat back, and the reason for that is because they were able to sit more squarely on the horse's back. So instead of being round like or oval shape like most tins are today, these had a flat back, and this is how it was easier to put on the stock horses. This is what I would call a wall of fame and a tribute to the various different stockmen who plied the stock routes through Camooweal. This is the drovers' camp, Camooweal. Roll of Honour, and as you can see, Ted Egan AM was one of the founding patrons, but there's also Slim Dusty and Joy McKean, and also John Williamson up there. So this is the people who have been made honorary life members of the drovers' camp. And these are a list of the drovers who actually called Camooweal home.
And my son for transport is actually going. She ran in and said, can we come out for 3 days because it's the big mustering on VOD. So we couldn't be out foot. Oh, awesome. So yeah. So we got time off work and off we had nothing to
There you go. I used to be a cook at Karate Station.
This is the drovers' wall of memory.
There you go. We charge anything? $15. Oh, has it? Oh, you're...
And it's a tribute to the drovers at Camooweal. Now before we go into this room, I've already been in it, and I wasn't aware of what was in here, but when I walked in, I can tell you I experienced an oh fuck moment. Oh fuck, how good is this? Let me show you. These are hand painted. And they represent all the drovers who came through Camooweal. This is a magical room.
As I've said before, if you call yourself an Australian, you need to come out and have a look at this. Because I will say it again, you can't know where you're going unless you know where you came from. And this is Australian history at its best.
This is the stage area at the Drovers Camp. And again, the outside was done by local Aboriginal artists. The inside here and the backdrop that you can see was done by one woman, Aboriginal woman, and this took quite some time to do, but it's all been done, and as I'm sure you agree, that it looks sensational. But this is a nice area. So this is the staging area, and of course you need to be out of the sun, and so this is where the seats are put up and they hold functions out here and so forth. So when you come through Camooweal, you've got to come to the Drovers Camp. I'm sure you'll love it.